Lee, we did a pilot.
Yes, this is our first show since we shot our pilot.
Dine and Dash with Joe Carnahan, EPing, and we had Joe, Lucy Lawless, Kate Walsh, Common, and Dermot Mulroney. And this was a big project for you to work on. This was like your...
This was, yeah.
You got to learn a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
What's the experience like?
Shot movies before, and I've been on sets before, but this was a much bigger deal.
Bigger scale, yeah.
Yeah, bigger scale. So there's about 24 things that have to be done before we can even bother starting. And,
right.
Going through each and every thing. And I'm kind of doing sort of a PA gig, so I'm just kind of helping set up, making sure people have what they need. But once we started the show, there was a lot more to be done, actually, during the shoot. Because I noticed you were at the table, you couldn't get out of it, and you needed drink services. And
yeah. Frustrating for someone like me who would like to be more autonomous.
Right.
Because I didn't get that opportunity.
But you can't when shooting something, because when you're shooting TV or a movie, you just can't.
That's what I learned.
Unless you have people working for you who are just totally your indentured servants and you're like a tyrant type.
But from everything I heard, you did fantastic.
I was just trying to make sure... Well, here's the thing. I was just trying to make sure everything was going smoothly, because I would be sitting there next to Jim McCarran's, and I'd be seeing the monitors, and I'm being like, what happened there? And there'd be a monitor down, there'd be a camera down, I had to make sure someone know about that. You were screaming you needed more drinks, and I had to tell the waiters about it. Then there was a convention at the hotel. They started to spill into the balcony upstairs. I had to go tell them to be quiet a couple times. And you just needed a stage manager backstage. And that's not something that we had thought of, because everyone directing this was actually shooting it, so they couldn't get away. And I think in the end it worked out okay, but towards the end there was a lot of damage control to run. I didn't know it would be like that.
We were low budget, so we were understaffed, maybe 2-3 people. Mm-hmm. And everyone did their job so well that you barely knew you were understaffed.
Right.
That was great.
The people you had there helping the other crew members,
Pat Wimp, Hamza Jamjoom,
and our directors,
Jacqueline Chender.
They were all great.
Yep. And then you had Anthony Giuliano, who, by the way, put money in this production. One of our producers, Anthony Giuliano, puts a good amount of money in this production. He shows up last Wednesday, or 2 Wednesdays ago, and he learned on the fly, and he got so much done.
Yeah.
Because we unfortunately lost Pat Tobias to illness. And, Pat, we missed you, and we love you.
He's alive, by the way. He didn't die. We lost.
No, Pat's the reason Vanessa's here today. So, but with Pat missing in action, Anthony really stepped it up, and Caesar did his thing, and then you and Mikey stepped it up.
Yeah.
Terzo.
Mikey was doing a lot. I was trying to do what I could.
Yeah, I'm so proud of all you guys. Yeah. The editors, Neil Fernandez is amazing.
He's going to work his magic.
I'll tell you something. Neil Fernandez editing this show, I'm like, dude, this is going to be a pain in the ass with Neil. Because Neil and I go way back, and I'm just like, this little Filipino bastard, he's just going to be a pain in the fucking ass. But I'll tell you what, that guy... Man, he went from being little pain in the ass Neil to Spielberg overnight.
Right.
And Peter Fitzer, and I'm just so proud of everyone. I really appreciate everybody doing this for very little money.
The footage looks great. It's going to be.
I'm telling you, I said I want it
cut.
to look like a Ridley Scott film.
Yeah.
I think very much so. It looks like a Ridley Scott film. Mm-hmm. I mean, I really do think that design is there.
Yeah.
When I say that, I'm not talking Gladiator. I'm talking a dinner table scene in a Ridley Scott film.
Right.
Okay? But it does have that look and feel, which I'm very happy about. That's what I really wanted. I wanted it to be cinematic.
Yeah.
I really did. I thought part of the problem with Favreau's show was... I shouldn't say a part of the problem. It wasn't a problem. This is the way he chose to do his show. But they decided to do it very low budget and with whatever cameras they had, available.
Right.
And it looks that way. And I wanted this to look like you went to AMC and this aired before a movie instead of all those stupid commercials.
Right.
This aired before the movie,
right.
which I think would be a lot better
instead
of an idea.
Instead of the AMC first watch.
Right. By the way, I'd much rather see this air before a movie than
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then behind the scenes of Monday mornings.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, Fred. But, yeah. I would much rather see it. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely went into this and I go, and everyone's going to see this in the coming months. We're going to be, it's editing right now. It'll be in post until the middle of middle of March. And then Joe and I are going to take it around town. But, I mean, the fact of the matter is, I wanted it to have a cinematic feel. It does. The crew, awesome. The cast, awesome.
Right.
I couldn't ask for a better cast for a first episode.
Yep.
I mean, this is a pilot with no network attached. You got Common coming out. You got Kate Walsh coming out. You got Dermot Mulroney, Lucy Lawless. I mean, those are 4 really heavy hitters that are like, I'm going to help you out, bro.
Right.
I'm going to do it. Yeah, why not?
It's tremendous that it came together that way.
So I'm so grateful and thankful. I want to thank everybody. What I'll do is this. I will promise you, Kate Kelton's coming on the show, I know, next week to talk with Lee and I, and we have another guest coming on. Kate's going to be, like, co-hosting with Lee and I. We got to figure out if we got to get 4 microphones or not.
Yeah.
We just don't have room for it right now.
A number of actors want my job.
Everybody wants your job.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Wait till they find out what it pays. Yes, and that will be
not
fun.
enough.
Yeah. Well, we...
But we'll talk more about the pilot then. I'll be giving you all I'll give all our listeners glimpses of the pilot and the process.
We'll give
throughout
you
the next few
news
months.
on it as it develops.
Yeah, because if I tell you all about it now, I'll never get to tell you about it again. I got to keep your interest salivating.
Well, plus, we have to... This was just the thank you to everybody, and wasn't it a lot of fun talk about the pilot? We have to talk about...
we'll do the gossip.
The anecdotes.
Can I
from
talk
the pilot.
some John Hamm, too, by the way, when we do that next week? Can you remind me?
Yeah.
I just gave him a teaser here.
We'll both talk, because something happened to me in the men's room at the Four Seasons.